Alabama's defense has the potential to be one of Nick Saban's best in 2022, and I'm here just for you to break it down. What's up, everybody? X-Swing Sports here, and if you hadn't hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out a whole lot. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 sub mark. If I get to that 1,000 sub mark, I will definitely make more content for you guys. I will be so motivated, and I really appreciate you guys watching, because the offensive depth chart video I made, I had a lot of comments bashing my opinion like it's the actual depth chart. It's like, come on, guys, we're all Bama fans. Let's all get along. We all want the players to do well. Guys, take this video with a grain of salt, okay? This is just my opinion, and if you have your opinions, then please list your comments below. But now that's out of the way, let's get started. We'll start out with defensive end with Justin Ebugbe. He's a defensive end. He had like 8 solo tackles last year and a half a sack. He really didn't have a whole lot of playing time, mainly because our linebackers are set up more on the edge. But behind him is Braylon Ingraham. Then you have Byron Young on the other side with 40 total tackles, 19 solos, and 2 sacks. He's a big 6'3", 292-pound junior. He has really high expectations, in my opinion. He's going to be a great run stuffer. Then you have Ja Marine Latham, if I'm even saying that right. I don't name these guys, but he's after him. Then you have the edge linebacker jack position with no other than
Mr. Anderson.
This guy had 101 total tackles, 31 tackles for loss, and 17 and a half sacks. And I have no idea why he wasn't invited for the Heisman. I mean, you got Aiden Hutchinson gets invited and actually got second. And Will Anderson has better stats in all facets. I mean, this man was severely disrespected. So if Will Anderson can get 17 and a half sacks this year, he'll probably break every single Alabama record. He could probably just put up 10 sacks and 20 tackles for loss and still go #1 overall, but I think he's going to actually be on the same level as he was last year, if not better. I feel bad for every other team we play this year, because this guy, his motor don't stop. He's going to come after you play after play. They don't call him the Terminator for nothing. Anyways, moving on. Then behind Will Anderson, you have Chris Braswell, which he had 13 tackles last year, and he's a sophomore, so he'll probably be our starter next year. He's got potential. Next up is defensive tackle nose guard position with DJ Dale. He had 12 tackles and 2 sacks last year. Big run stuffer. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. He's a beast, but he hasn't really taken the next step forward. And I think this year he has the potential to be a really good player for Alabama. He's had a few injuries that has slowed him down, so I think he's going to take a big step forward this year and really show what he can do. Next up, you got Tim Smith, which I think he's going to be playing a lot this season too. He had 25 tackles last year and half a sack, so I think him and DJ Dale are going to be swapping in and out throughout the season like it was last year. And DJ Dale and Tim Smith, they could be on the field at the same time depending on the formation, you know. Next up, we have the Sam position, which is pretty much opposite of Will Anderson, and that's Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner had a phenomenal year last year, actually. He was really underrated. Mind you, he was a freshman last year, and he really only played in maybe 8 games. Had 30 tackles, 8 sacks, and 10 tackles for loss. He was a beast, and he's just going to get even better next year. Will Anderson and Dallas Turner, they could combine a total of 30 sacks this season, and I wouldn't even be surprised. So I'm very excited for Dallas Turner, and I know a lot of other Bama fans that are super excited for this guy. So behind Dallas Turner is Quandarius Robinson, who is a redshirt freshman that I really don't know a whole lot about, but he did play on special teams for the Tide. Next, we got middle linebacker Mike position with Henry To'oTo'o as the first stringer. He had 113 tackles last year. He was all over the field. 8.5 tackles for loss. He was a complete freak of nature, and I expect him to be just as good next year. Him and Will Anderson are going to be the leaders. And I don't know if you know this, guys, but the Mike linebacker position is pretty much the quarterback of the defense. He calls the plays and everything. I'm super excited to see what Henry To'oTo'o can do this year. Then after him, you have Kendrick Blackshear, which really didn't play a whole lot last year. Only had like 3 tackles, but I expect him to get some more playing time this year. Next up, I think for the will linebacker position, I think Jalen Moody is going to finally get the starting position. He hasn't started, but he's got plenty of experience. He's played in several games. Only had 11 tackles last year, but I think he's going to take a big step forward this year, and he's going to be a pretty good linebacker for us. But Deontay Lawson, the redshirt freshman, might beat him out, but I think Jalen Moody is going to get it done. And if not, Deontay Lawson will be his backup. Next up on right corner, we have Eli Ricks, a junior. He was from LSU. He had 20 total tackles, 4 interceptions, and 5 pass breakups, and 2 touchdowns. He was an All-American at LSU, and he transferred to Alabama, and I think he's going to pick up where he left off. No question about it. Eli Ricks is a first-round talent, and he's going to ball out at Alabama. He's going to be one of the best cornerbacks in the nation. He's a game changer. Behind Eli Ricks, you have Tyrion Arnold, a redshirt freshman.
Oh, yeah!
Cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to be your starter. He was a freshman last year. His numbers aren't super eye-popping, 26 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, and 1 pass deflection. But this man was a menace on the field. No one wanted to really throw to him. He was a really good cornerback, and I think his game is going to be even more improved this year. He's a first-round pick in the making, and I know he's going to be a star this year. He's only a sophomore. Next up is strong safety Jordan Battle. This guy is a complete animal. 85 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 3 pass deflections. This guy's a first-round pick. He's insane. He really helped us out last year. He's one of the hardest hitting defensive backs I've ever seen. He's a beast. No one wants to throw to Jordan Battle. If they do, they're crazy. I'm telling you guys, going through this depth chart, like, we are loaded. We're going to have the #1 defense in college football this year. We are stacked. Behind Jordan Battle is Christian Story. He's a redshirt sophomore, hasn't really had a whole lot of playing time, but I think he might be the future at strong safety. Next up at free safety, we have DeMarco Helms. He had 87 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups. He was a solid starter for us at free safety. He really got things done, and I think he's going to be even better this year. And he's been pretty reliable for us. Behind him is Devontae Smith, the redshirt freshman. I'm glad to have another Devontae Smith on our team. He really brings us luck, I feel like. Last at the nickel star dime money position is Brian Branch. He's a sophomore. He had 55 total tackles, 1 sack, 9 pass breakups. He was very, very effective. And to be honest, I think Brian Branch is going to be insane this year. I mean, our secondary is so good. I don't think anybody's going to be able to throw on us. But Brian Branch, he's going to be locked down. Then you got Malachi Moore. He got injured in 2020. He had 3 interceptions that season and 6 pass breakups. He was a very good starter for us in 2020. So I don't know now that he's healed up if he's going to get back on the field. But, I mean, he did play in a few games last year. He actually had an interception last year, but his production went way down. So I don't know if he's not going to start over Brian Branch, but they got to get him on the field somehow. I mean, he was really, really good. So we'll see what they do with Malachi Moore. But, I mean, he would start on any other college football team. He's that good. So special teams, kicker Will Riker. He's been phenomenal. Of course, we got their punter, James Burnip. Punt returner, I'll say Jahmyr Gibbs. Kick returner, Jahmyr Gibbs. JoJo Earl, probably. That's pretty much it, guys. If you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more Alabama football content, please subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for watching.